Hello, and welcome to the Party Center Speaks podcast. This is the podcast for family entertainment center and event venue owners, operators, managers, and staffers looking to grow their business. Want to learn about increasing booking parties, improving facility operations, and more? This podcast is for you. My name is Rebecca Toomey, and I'm the Director of Sales, Marketing, and Customer Success here at Party Center Software. In this episode, we are going to read through one of our ebooks titled No Unhappy Customers: 6 Ways to Prevent or Diffuse Customer Conflict. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this audio version. Introduction. Family entertainment centers around the world may differ in location, theme, attractions available, or target demographics. But one thing is for sure, no one likes to see an unhappy customer. Customer experience is the bread and butter of our business. Happy customers equal great reviews, free word-of-mouth promo, and more business. However, bad experiences do happen. As business owners and operators, it's our goal to diffuse situations and provide a solution as quickly as possible. That's why in this resource, we share 6 key ways you can prevent or diffuse customer conflict at your FEC. We offer tips on behaviors you and your staff should exhibit and actions to take in order to reach a resolution as quickly as possible. The goal of this guide is to help you start building a successful conflict management plan you can adapt to meet your FEC's specific needs. Please be sure to subscribe to our blog for more great content, follow us on social, and join the PCS community group on Facebook. Let's grow together. Chapter 1: 6 Ways to Prevent or Diffuse Customer Conflict. Clear communication. One of the major reasons why customer conflicts arise is a result of miscommunication or a lack of communication. As a facility owner or staff member, you already know all too well that your facility is a fast-paced, busy place. There are numerous parties, events, and walk-in customers you need to attend to, and sometimes there might not be enough time to communicate rules and guidelines or go over invoice adjustments. However, customers might quickly become unhappy if they're surprised by the invoice or by a guideline they weren't aware of. This is why it's super important to communicate early and often. Make sure safety rules and guidelines are communicated to the guest early in the booking process, when calling to confirm the party or when sending a follow-up email or on your website. It wouldn't hurt to also call the customer a few days before the party to go over the invoice, guidelines, and anything else they might need to know. Add signage to your facility that displays certain rules and guidelines. Bright, clear signs will catch the attention of your customer and may deter them from doing anything that is against your policies. Post signs around your FEC for everyone to see, near entryways, around break areas, and next to the attractions themselves. Be sure to jump on our Instagram, as we also have an Instagram reel on this topic. Consider adding a dedicated Rules and Policies tab on your website so fun seekers will know what to expect before visiting your FEC. You may also want to consider having a section in your digital waivers where customers sign and agree to follow facility rules. This will be especially helpful if you have to confront a guest adamantly resistant to following the rules, because you'll have written proof and a signed agreement from them to back you up. Party communication. When it comes to private parties, communication is especially important. Every party description should clearly communicate what is included in each package, and that additional requests will be honored to the best of your ability, but will come at an additional cost. Be sure to also add all specific party guidelines in your party package descriptions. For example, if a guest books a 10-person party but arrives with 11 people on the day of the party, Communicate directly with the party booker as soon as possible to let them know you're more than capable of accommodating the additional guest, but confirm that you'll be adding the extra guest fee to their invoice. Awareness. As a facility owner or operator, you need to keep your eyes and ears open at all times. When you're aware of what's going on in your facility, you'll be able to quickly diffuse situations and provide an effective solution if the need arises. Train your employees on this matter too, of course. When an individual is well trained in what to look for, such as someone exhibiting unsafe behavior at an attraction or not following the dress code, they'll be able to address the issue and mitigate the problem quickly. You'll have to offer recommendations on what to do and provide your staff with different example scenarios. Being able to read an individual's body language and facial expressions is also an important awareness skill that can contribute to preventing and minimizing conflict in your family entertainment center. Look for crossed arms, unhappy expressions, and perhaps gestures pointing toward your attractions, food or beverage area, your front desk, or specific employees. If you see any of these during your guest's visit, you might want to pay closer attention and continue to monitor the situation. Proactive behavior. Awareness will not benefit or help you in preventing or minimizing conflict at your FEC if it's not paired with proactive behavior. If you see something, say or do something. In-person proactive behavior. If you notice unsavory body language or overhear a negative conversation related to your facility as you walk by a group of guests, be proactive. Approach the party unassumingly and ask how they're enjoying their visit. Ask if there's anything you can do to make their experience more special. Making the first move in these situations is especially helpful if you're dealing with a guest that wants to avoid conflict. If you don't say anything, customers could end up walking away from your facility unsatisfied with their experience, and you won't be the wiser unless they decide to recount their experience on social media after the fact. More often than not, if your guests have an issue they feel strongly about, they will tell you. If they don't, maybe it isn't that big of a deal. Many guests realize that not everything can be perfect. Especially loyal customers, and small problems aren't likely to deter them from returning. If it turns out that there isn't a major issue, your proactivity will make a wonderful impression on your guests as it shows your commitment to providing a great guest experience. Consider asking a team member to spend some time walking around the facility to ask guests if everything is going well. Proactivity can help your team address a problem before it even starts. Prevention is always better than reaction. The longer you wait to address a potential problem, the harder it may become to de-escalate the situation. Proactivity may sometimes include taking a loss if it's for the greater good of your facility and the experience of other guests inside your family entertainment center. For example, prepare your staff with preloaded game cards. If a customer approaches you saying a particular machine ate some of their credits, don't challenge them on it. Permit your employees to swipe these preloaded cards when the occasion arises. $5 out of your pocket is nothing if it means you can serve the 5 guests waiting in line behind that customer faster. Maybe you notice a private party should have the food they ordered by now, but it's delayed. It could be that they're all having a great time and haven't noticed, but by approaching the party booker, apologizing for the delay, and letting them know you'll be including an extra pizza or another item on the house will make your customer service skills really stand out. Online proactive behavior. Proactive behavior is also key when it comes to online reviews. Encourage guests to fill out a customer feedback survey before they leave. If customers are given the ability to provide direct feedback while still in your facility, they're less likely to go home and write a poor review online. If you do receive negative feedback from a guest on social media, don't scramble to delete it or avoid answering it. Be the first to respond and apologize and let them know you'll be personally reaching out to them to discuss the situation and offer some solutions. Responding as quickly as possible helps your business control the narrative before the situation escalates. Prioritize de-escalation. If a conflict arises before prevention was possible, or if a guest wasn't amenable to your solutions, there is no other goal at this point except to de-escalate the situation. With any incident that occurs, prioritize keeping the situation and parties involved, including yourself and your staff, as calm as possible right from the beginning. If the conflict is spotted by a junior employee, make sure they're trained to notify a supervisor as soon as possible. This puts you in the best position to prevent the incident from escalating in severity. It doesn't mean it may not happen, but it will ensure you have done your best to avoid it. Guests who are already in a negative emotional state won't react kindly if you automatically respond defensively to their actions. Always take the high road and truly listen to the guest's concerns before responding. Oftentimes, an upset customer just wants to be heard. If it becomes clear that a situation isn't going to be resolved in a calm and timely fashion, it may be time for you to kindly ask the involved parties to leave and escort them out. To protect your facility from any possible legal action, make sure to never physically touch a customer when escorting them out or attempting to calm them down. If the disruptive individuals involved in the conflict are below the legal age to drive, you may need to look up their parents' contact information via your online waivers to call and request that they are picked up immediately. In the event this doesn't work, if the situation escalates beyond talking and you or your staff member feel uncomfortable, it's time to take a more radical approach. Consider having a code word or phrase in place for these types of situations so other staff members can help out and get the right people to help de-escalate the situation. Recover quickly. One significantly important part of dealing with any conflict in your FEC is to create a post-incident procedure for you and your staff to follow. Be sure to include copies of the incident reports and instructions on how to fill them out. You may also want to request one from the police department for your records if this applies. Depending on the severity of the situation, you'll likely need to make a decision and policy on whether or not these guests are going to be allowed back in your facility. Make a decision sooner rather than later, and make sure it's communicated to the involved guests, your staff, and authorities if needed. Include images of what the individuals look like so they can easily spot them. Make sure you have both digital and hard copies of the completed incident forms so they can be kept on record if needed. If anything was damaged or anyone was hurt, get medical attention immediately. Soon after, make sure to contact your insurance provider. Take as many detailed pictures of any injuries or damage that occurred to people or equipment, attractions, etc., to provide as proof to your insurance provider. If you access this resource online, you will find a few links to various report templates that you might need. These will give you a general idea of the proper documentation you should prioritize obtaining should the situation call for it. Examples: an incident report template, work-related accident or injury report form template, property damage template. Lastly, it's really important to remember that once the situation has been diffused, the whole ordeal likely distracted your employees and can detract them from performing to the best of their ability. But remember, just because a conflict took place doesn't mean the day is lost. Getting your team back on track is essential to successful recovery after conflict. After any potential mess has been cleaned up and the conflict has fully subsided, call your staff into the back room for a quick team huddle. Do this with the intention of creating a fresh start. Acknowledge what happened and that you'll make sure it's properly discussed, but remind them that the day isn't over. Encourage the team to not let it take away from providing the best guest experience they can offer to every customer. Learn from your experiences. After everything is settled down and the day is over, ask any staff members who may have been directly involved with the conflict if they'd be willing to stay a few extra minutes past their shift to talk. If it's not possible, schedule a meeting at a different time. Have a private debrief with them about what happened. Ask your team members how they feel and if there is anything further you should know. Ask them if there was anything they think should have or could have been done differently to have made the situation better or that could have stopped the incident from happening altogether. Make sure your staff understands how an incident similar to the one that occurred should be handled if it happens again in the future. Commend any and all of your staff members that were involved in the situation for handling it so well. Appreciation goes a long way with your employees. Take notes during the debrief session so you can update any documentation in the future. After debriefing, it's time to privately meet with your management team. Ask the same questions and ask about what could be improved in the process moving forward. Finally, hold a staff-wide meeting to address what happened with any team members that were not present or not involved. Share how the situation was resolved, lessons learned, and note any procedural changes to be aware of moving forward. Edit and tweak your prevention and de-escalation process as new lessons learned are discussed, and make sure any employee handbooks and your playbook are updated. These updates should also be reflected in any new employee training or refresher training sessions for veteran employees. Conclusion: prioritizing a service-first approach and providing a fantastic customer experience will drastically reduce the chances of customer conflict occurring at your facility. Let this resource help you as you prepare to prevent and diffuse conflict at your family entertainment center quickly, safely, and effectively. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any feedback or have any topics you'd like us to discuss, be sure to email marketing@partycentersoftware.com. This podcast is a weekly podcast, so you can expect new episodes every Thursday. Party Center Speaks is powered by Party Center Software. We are a facility management tool that helps family entertainment centers and event venues book more parties and manage their facilities. We also offer marketing services such as custom website design and marketing automations to help you expand your reach and grow traffic. If you'd like to know more about us, head over to partycentersoftware.com and be sure to give us a follow at Party Center Software on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and LinkedIn, and at Party Center Soft on Twitter. Until next time, thanks for listening.